Spring has sprung, so it's time to spend some money. Travis, we're going shopping.
Okay.
Welcome back to Whiskey Happens. This episode, we're talking about upcoming spring releases to go hunting for. Travis, I know this is your favorite time of the year because there's a lot of batches coming out, but I don't think that that's on your list this year, right?
No.
You seem very unenthusiastic.
No, unfortunately, it's not. There's been you know what? The funny thing is there hasn't been a whole lot that I got super excited about the first part of the year. There was a few, but nothing like really crazy. Like I said, I was still looking for, on a previous video, I was still looking for Bookers from last year. And John, of course, it dropped in all of Texas. And I just couldn't get to the store to get it. And John was actually at a store and they had it and he got me bottles. So I was super stoked about that. So kudos to our boy, John, once again. How many videos is this? So I think we can keep it rolling. And actually, I think based upon our recent trend, I can actually add now his brother into helping me out. And that will be my very first one we talk about, which is the Woodford Reserve Masters Collection Historic Entry Proof. God, it's such a long ass name, but really excited to get that. Just dropped in Dallas today. Could not get out and get it, but Phil, thank you, sir, actually went out to the store and grabbed me one. So yeah, excited to chase this. I like the Woodfords. You can't see it. It's not in the shot, but I got a couple of those and absolutely love those.
I'm interested to see about this. It hasn't released here yet that I know of. But so when you shared the bottle in the group chat, that was legitimately my first time seeing it.
Yeah.
Although I have heard about this, and apparently the normal batch proof, somewhere between 115, 130, whatever. This one comes in at the standard 90.4.
Yes.
And I was like, what the heck? And then later realized it's because it's barrel entry proof, which Woodford standard does 125. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see how the maturation unfolds when you crack your bottle, because I don't have one.
Exactly. And that's what I'm really excited about, because the fact that it's 90.4, just like the rest of their bourbon, but yet it's a special edition, and the way they've done it and the way they've gone about it is, I'm really interested to see, because some of the other ones that I've gotten that are much higher proof are really still easy drinkers, but they are very, it's like a flavor bomb. And that's why I keep getting them, is because it's just something about them that gives it this amazing flavor. So I'm interested to read more about it, understand a little bit more about it, and get a taste of it. And so I should get it hopefully this weekend and be able to drink on it, which makes me really happy.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Woodford has done the same proof on barrel entry since the 60s at 125. Before that, it was actually between 100 and 103. So they're kind of returning to their roots. And I know you got the bottle, and I'm hoping to get the bottle myself because I was just planning on getting it anyway. You just got it before me, but very excited for that for you. So first up on my list is something that I've never had anything from this distillery before. Out of Bardstown, Green River is going to release a wheated bourbon in and around the $30 to $35 price point. So I'm not saying this is going to be a Weller killer or anything like that, but I do try and find other wheated bourbons that are more easily accessible. And for that, this makes my list. I've yet to have actual wheated bourbon that I would say is a competitor for Weller, and I'm not putting Weller on a pedestal. There's different signatures and expressions of Weller, and I like a couple of them. I don't like all of them. And that's fine, but I'm determined to find something else that I can just get when I go for wheated bourbon. Similar to Woodford Wheated, I do enjoy. Yeah, it's still on my shelf. I know it's only been a month, but it'll be gone in due time.
Gotta love a weeder. So awesome. Well, yeah, I'm excited then to try that with you. And I think something different is always a pleasure. Not something different is my second one. Well, kinda. It's comes from a long line of really amazing bourbons that we have always drank. I'm teasing. It's not an all long line, but it's a Finnish whiskey. It's a Finnish bourbon. And it comes from one of our favorite distilleries, Penelope. And that would be Penelope Rio.
I don't know how long that line is, but okay.
Yeah, Penelope Rio. So another Finnish bourbon, finished in honey and I'm going to butcher the name. It's Ambrodina cast. So once again, Penelope using their normal mash bill that comes from their 4-grain and, throwing it in the cast, seeing what they get. Like I said before about Penelope, I don't think they're all bangers. I think the rosé is good. I think it's taken some time though. The first one was not that good. The second and third batch and the fourth batch have gotten better. And so I think those are really good. I've been a fan of some of their other Finnish whiskeys, but really excited to try this one. I think it's going to be a great springtime drink, especially with that little bit of a honey finish. And I'm hoping it's not like super honey like Nulu did with one of theirs where it felt like you were drinking honey cough syrup. So I'm hoping it's a little bit lighter, which normally with Penelope, it's a little bit lighter. So really excited to try that one.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that too. I didn't get a chance to get a Valencia. Penelope isn't distributed in Virginia that I've seen whatsoever, or if it is allocated, I could imagine why, but I just missed the opportunity. But
I didn't get the Valencia either.
Definitely.
I didn't get the Valencia either. I just got to try it.
Okay. This one is definitely on my list, and I actually like the rosé batch one. I covet it. I have a bottle of it. It's about halfway gone. I've had batch 3. I haven't had batch 4 or 2. And batch 3 was fine, but it wasn't like the original for me.
Gotcha.
So I would be interested to try another one because obviously the batch ones are far and few.
Very true. So what's next on your list?
Far and few? This is a surprise. My next one. Ragged Branch is releasing Secretariat bourbon in honor of the Triple Crown winner from 1973. It's 50th anniversary.
Nice.
I got an email from the ABC store saying that this was coming out. I have never been to the Kentucky Derby in my life. However, part of my initial bourbon journey, we spent, it's not called Dogwood Downs. That's what's coming to mind. But we used to go to horse racing college in Charlottesville. What was that one?
Yes, we did. Churchill Downs.
Okay, Churchill Downs. So it's not Kentucky. It's not Preakness. It's not anything like that. However, horse racing is, and we weren't even born yet on top of that. But it just reminds me of a time in our lives when we were discovering bourbon for ourselves. So it's like $99. It's going to be allocated lottery, but I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And it's probably something I would never open. It's just a keepsake of college in a weird way.
I love it. No, I love it. I think it's interesting though. If you notice, there's a lot this year that is going to be, that's coming out for the Kentucky Derby. Unlike normally the only ones that have come out in the past that were really not designated, but just geared around the Kentucky Derby were really Woodford and Makers have done stuff in the past. But now a lot of other, distilleries are doing it, and which is interesting to me because it's the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby. So if it's a big hit, I can only imagine for the 150th, which will be next year, which, that's a bigger event, meaning 150 years, what might come out. So get your bow tie ready and your fancy hats ready, because we might be going next year to the 150th edition.
That's all I'm taking away from that, is that we're going to Kentucky Derby next year. So we'll see you there.
Yeah. Love it. And so the last on our list is one that Garrett and I can definitely agree upon, because we wanted to make this short and sweet to 5. And we fought over what the last one was going to be. But I think we both came to an agreement on this, which is Michter's 10-year bourbon. One that neither one of us have ever gotten.
This is true.
We both had at Michter's, but we've never gotten it. I have the 10-year rye from, I think it was 2 years ago now, or a year. Yeah, 2 years ago. I wouldn't get this past year, it was the year before. So I'm really trying to get the bourbon as well. I think this is one that will be interesting to hunt for this year. But what do you think?
I haven't really read anything up on the production of this, but I'm seriously hoping that Michter's is just caught up with demand.
That'd be nice.
And because, I mean, when you really think about it, it's just a 10-year bourbon.
Yeah.
And Michter's is fairly new to the game, not trying to take any credit away from them. And it's great that they have something that has a bit more of an age statement that for now is allocated in scarcity. But I hope the goal is one day to just make this readily available. Because again, it's just 10 years, you know, and I'm not trying to knock Michter's or nothing, but Russell's has it, Buffalo Trace has it, Wild Turkey has them, or Russell's, Wild Turkey, same thing. But plenty of other people have a stable supply of a 10-year bourbon that they put on their shelves. So Michter's, I hope that you get there one day, and I will be first in line every day until I get sick of it.
I hope they do as well, but it's a lot of their products, a lot of their, like, you know, their toasted series and other things of that nature. So I would love to see Michter's get to a point where it's a little less allocated. I mean, we even talk about Eagle Rare and other ones that are 10 years are a little more allocated too, but there's still a lot of it out there and of the 10 years. So I'll be interested to see as well. I'm excited. And before we get to the end of this, one of the things that people should keep an eye out this year for, which I think is really cool, is there's a lot of aged bourbon hitting the market this year. And when I mean aged, is age statements. So 4 to 10 to 12 years. If you go and you start looking at what's dropping this year, there's a lot of stuff that's coming of age. And I'm excited about that. So not just from, you know, the mainstays or the staples in the bourbon community, but other ones, as Garrett was talking about, that are coming out with anywhere from 4. I mean, 4 is the standard, but they're saying it's at least 4. And then a lot of it I'm seeing is 7 years, 9 years, 12 years. So I'm excited to see what some of these more aged bourbons that have been sitting and aging for this long are going to really taste like.
Yeah, I mean, you are definitely a bit of an age hound, as to where I'm more of a proof hound. Yep. But we'll see. The year is young. Until then, doesn't matter if you like a neat on the rocks or in a Coke. Whiskey happens. Cheers.
Cheers.